Hi everyone and welcome to VAF's Retro Review. Today we're going to be taking a look at Pokémon Snap. Pokémon Snap was a game on the N64 which was originally brought out in Japan in 1999 but made its way to Europe in the year 2000. The game was different from all of the other Pokémon games, as instead of running around capturing all the Pokémon with your Pokeballs, what you're actually doing is sitting in a buggy and riding around an island called Pokémon Island. Pokémon Island was an island full of Pokemon, obviously, but it didn't really have humans there, which is why it was meant to be a good place to observe Pokemon in their natural habitat. This is why Professor Oak sends a Pokemon photographer, Todd Snap, to Pokemon Island, so that he can get a better idea of how the Pokemon act in their own world. Now this sounds great for like the whole Pokemon storyline, but it doesn't really transpire into a game very well, as you are just sat there watching Pokemon do stuff around you. Half of them don't actually do anything until later on in the game, which brings me to another point of the game. You have to replay the levels constantly to unlock secret pathways, or make, for example, a Snorlax wake up by playing the Poké Flute, which you don't get until later in the game, or finding apples to throw at stuff to distract them so that they run around the screen and so you can take a picture there. And then once you've done all of this, you made it through and you've got these brilliant photos, Professor Oak looks at them and he just slates them. He just tears your work apart, and it's really demoralising. I played this game for over 45 minutes, and all I managed to do was play through the first two levels, and I had no idea how I was supposed to get anything else from the game. Maybe I'm terrible at the game, maybe I don't understand it, but as far as I can tell, it's just not good. Okay, so let's rate this properly then. Graphic wise, the game's alright for an N64 game. There are much better N64 games out there. Donkey Kong is a much better looking game. Banjo-Kazooie in parts is a much better looking game. The graphics are very similar to the graphics employed in Pokémon Stadium, which are average at best for an N64 game. With regards to audio, it's got some music from the original Game Boy games, but most of it's just really over the top, cheery, happy music, and it doesn't impress me at all. The game has no multiplayer and it has very little replay value, as you are literally doing the same things over and over again. Replaying the game is the only way to play the game, and it's just not fun, so why would you? If I could improve this game, I would have added a lot more levels to it and allowed you to have all of the items that you get throughout the game at the beginning, so that you can start getting perfect runs right from the beginning and not have to waste your time playing through the levels over and over again until something happens randomly. At the end of it, I've already captured all the Pokemon on the Game Boy. Why would I want to capture them again on a N64 with a camera, a fake camera? It's a waste of time, and for that I'm going to give it the low mark of 3.7 out of 10. The only reason it's getting 3.7 is because it's a Pokemon game, and I like Pokemon, but it's probably the worst Pokemon game I've ever seen. So anyway, if you enjoyed watching this video of this terrible game, or feel that I'm completely wrong and the game's incredible, and you really did love throwing pester balls at Pikachu so it'll turn around and go Pika! Which is dull. That's dull, okay. Send me a comment and we'll have a nice little argument, it'll be good fun. Or click like, click subscribe, and click share if you really enjoyed this, but I can't imagine you enjoyed it that much. And I'll see you next week. Cheers, bye!